So this video is about the first two sections of the reading of this unit entitled Teddy Roosevelt and Big Stick Diplomacy. First of all, the introduction. Teddy Roosevelt was this loud, energetic, outgoing president with a big personality. And one of the things that he liked was he was very fond of this old African proverb that went, "Speak softly and carry a big stick. You will go far." And he's going to apply that a lot. And in his foreign policy diplomacy, that occurs. And there's a significant change, especially between McKinley and Roosevelt. There's a big change in what's going on in American foreign policy, where for so long America had been isolationist and keep our distance from what's going on with Europe. Well, that's going to be changing in this late 1800s, early 1900s, with first McKinley and the Spanish-American War, and then Roosevelt as well. Um, so the one of the big things or important aspects of Teddy Roosevelt's presidency is the development of the Panama Canal. And the United States had been eyeing a canal in Central America for quite some time. If you look at a map of North America, or you don't understand a map of the United States, if you don't want to go all the way across the United States carrying goods by train or whatever it is, or if you don't want to go all the way around South America, you want to have a waterway that you can easily get from the Pacific to the Atlantic and vice versa. And Americans had been eyeing Central America to do this in. Now, there was two places you could create a canal. One of them was in Nicaragua, and you'll see this large lake, which actually makes Nicaragua a little bit shorter. But you could possibly build a canal through Nicaragua into Lake Nicaragua and then out this other side and have a connection point between the two oceans. And the other location was Panama. And Nicaragua probably was a little longer to get across, but it was easier terrain. Panama was much shorter to get a canal built through there, but it was swampy and it was mountainous, and so it was much more difficult to build a canal through there. Um, but it's going to end up being, as you know, because there's a Panama Canal, not a Nicaraguan canal. It's going to end up being Panama. And the French had already tried to build a canal there, and it failed miserably. And so the United States paid France for the rights to build a canal through Panama. But they first had to convince Colombia. And there was no Panama as a country at that time. This whole area was part of the country of Colombia. And so Roosevelt had to orchestrate a way to get the Colombians to allow us to build a canal in their country. Well, the United States passed a treaty, but the Colombian government did not ratify it in their country. And so therefore, it was a no-go on building the Panama Canal. And so Roosevelt found a way around it. And so supposedly there was some rebels around the canal zone in Panama, and these rebels wanted their independence from Colombia. They wanted to create their own Panamanian country. So when Roosevelt hears that, he's like, okay, I'll give you my support. So just declare your independence. And so the rebels therefore say, okay, we declare our independence. And Roosevelt immediately says, okay, yep, we recognize you as a new and independent nation from Colombia, and immediately sends troops in there to back them up, because otherwise Colombia would just overrun the rebels. But they can't overrun the United States government. And so basically, this is a backdoor way of getting a canal through Panama. The rebels then immediately signed an agreement with Roosevelt to allow the canal to be built. Basically, this is imperialism without firing a shot, because the United States now owns a section of South America, or sorry, Central America, without really doing anything. The canal work then begins, and it's going to take 10 years because it's a huge engineering feat, a huge engineering undertaking. And it does cost a lot of lives because of yellow fever and other diseases in that part of the world, but it still ends up being a pretty tremendous engineering accomplishment. and it'll eventually allow the United States to make even more strides with their economy and the ability now to get from the Atlantic to the ocean to the Pacific Ocean much more easily.